Hi, I'm Dr. Gene Preuss. In this brief tutorial, I want to show you how to format your essay using Microsoft Word. And what I'm going to go over in this presentation is getting Microsoft Word. You all have it, it's free. Formatting the header, centering your title, double spacing the body, some formatting regarding text, inserting notes, and inserting page numbers. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is make sure we have Microsoft, the website. And then we'll go to Student Resources, Information Technology, and we're going to go down to the menu on the left to where it says Office 365. Now, there's a couple of ways you can get it, but this is a way for you to get your Office 365. You can use it as a web-based program, or you can download it to your computer. But in any case, you're going to have to sign on first. So you would be clicking here. I'm going to show you through my login how to get in, though. Once you log in, you might have to add an account, but I've entered my UHD email, and then I'm going to enter my logon password. And what that'll do is that'll bring me to the Microsoft 365 Office screen. Now, I can go directly into Word or one of the other tools, or I can install it by clicking this button up here at the top right to my desktop. I'm going to show you the desktop version. You can do the same thing with the online application. So here is my document. First, what I want to do is go to the header and enter my name and other information. One thing I want to do is click this paragraph key at the top. It's going to show me the hidden characters that I need to see to figure out how I'm formatting this essay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that we are I'm going to go to the layout button up here and make sure the margins are normal. I want 1-inch margins all around. So I'm going to click normal. I want to make sure that it's in portrait, and I shouldn't have to do this. This should be formatted automatically, but make sure it's in 8.5 by 11, and I'm pretty ready to go right now. I want to go back to the home page. I'm going to click up here in the top, and you see that this brings up a header and footer view. I want to mark that I'm going to have different first pages. Okay, so make sure you click this box. Now, at this page, this is where I want to enter my name. I'm going to enter the class number, whatever your class number is, and the date. You have name, that's in my header. This is all going to be single spaced, and it's just going to be on the first page. Now, I'm going to click in the body and go back to the body. Then what I want to do, the second thing I'm going to do is enter my title. Now, that's going to be on the first page. It's not in the header anymore, and I'm going to center this. The title goes in quotation marks. So for the title of this paper and the examples I've been using all along, I'm going to call it A Bowl of Red. This is a brief history of the state dish of Texas. So that's my title. Then I'm going to come down. I'm going to skip a space, and I'm going to start here. From here on out, everything is going to be double spaced. So here, I'm going to make sure that everything is 2.0, that's double spacing. Okay? And I'm going to start typing. But I want to make sure that I'm aligning this not centered, but it's in a left alignment. Now that I've done that, I want to do a couple of other things. Now that I've got some text here, I want to show you about formatting a special kind of text. Every once in a while, you might want to have some quotes. Now, some of these quotes can be short, and actually, in an essay, the shorter the better. So here I've got a quote which is just a line and a half long. It's not very long. And all I'm looking for on quotes is just unique phrasing that adds color or adds depth or adds character to the paper. So I want to introduce a special kind of quote, and this is called a block quote. Now the block quote, this is anything longer, any quote longer than 4 lines is done a little bit differently. And so this paragraph is really too long for just a regular quote, and it really needs to be what's called a block quote. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do that. First of all, a block quote is single-spaced. That sets it apart. It's also indented. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the bottom tab here and move it indented about 1/2 inch. And so here I've now got this indented 1/2 inch. Now everything else is going to go back to being double spaced. So you notice there's a space in between here. And there's the block quote. I want to talk about how to do regular citations. So in this example, I've highlighted some areas where I need to put in my citations. So first off, we have this question here, frijoles and con carne, to just that touch of peppery excellence where nothing tastes better. It's from one of my source newspapers. And so the quote goes after the punctuation. And the punctuation here, there is a quotation mark. So I'm going to put it right there before the next sentence begins and leave a space. Some people like to leave 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter. Then what we're going to do is go in here to references. Up here at the top of the ribbon, you see references. Click references, and it says insert footnote. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to insert a footnote there. What Microsoft Word did was insert this superscripted number, and we want to make sure that it's an Arabic, not a Roman numeral. So first off, let me go ahead and come down here now to the bottom of the page where it's already formatted for me to insert the text. And so I'm going to insert my source. You see that Word automatically formats that as well. So that's already done. Now, one other thing that I want to do in the footnotes is to make sure that they're formatted correctly. What I want to make sure is that this is in Arabic and not Roman numerals. So what I want to do is come down here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go to footnote. Now I right-clicked on the number. I'm going to go to footnote. As you can see, that brings up this menu. I want to make sure it's in Arabic numerals, not Roman numerals, not anything else. I want to make sure it's in 1, 2, 3 Arabic numerals. And I want to make sure it's continuous. Every footnote has its own distinct number, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't reuse them. And we want to make sure this applies to the whole document. I'm going to make sure this applies. It should by default be this way, but just to make sure. Next one, I'm going to insert in my references tab again another footnote, and then I'm going to do the same thing for each one. A couple of things to note. I don't really need a paragraph mark here, but it's nice to have some space in your footnotes. So I'm going to come down here to footnotes. I also want to make sure that while I'm here, I'm going to click home. I've highlighted my footnotes. I want to make sure the font is the same. I want this to be in 12-point font. And then I'm going to make sure, I'm going to right click here and make sure in the paragraph style that there is 6 points of space between each of the lines. It's single spaced. I'm going to undo this and click it. And when I comes back here, you can see that it's added a little bit of space, not a full return, but about half a return between them. So it provides some, they don't look all cramped together. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure in my essay that I'm using the same size font as well. Now, I like to use Times New Roman. It's an easier font to read, so I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to select Times New Roman, and I'm going to make sure it's all at 12 points. All right. So I've got my paper. I've got some highlighted notes that I'm going to get rid of to clean that up. I've got my notes inserted. I've got my block quotation. Now you notice that there's the spell check and grammar check says there's some problems here, but this is a quotation, so I'm not going to fix it. That's the way it was originally printed. I'm going to leave it that way. The last thing I want to do is insert some page numbers. Now, I did say that I don't really need a page number on the first page. I need one on the second page. So I'm going to go down here to the second page, and then this is for the second page and all others. Remember, I initially had said that I want the first page to look different. So I'm going to go to the second page. I'm going to go here to the footer at the bottom. I just double click down on the bottom area, and it pulled up the footer screen. I have a different first page. I'm going to come here. I'm going to hit page number. I want to make sure that I'm aligned in the center. I can do this later. And then I'm just going to click OK. We see that at the bottom of page 2, you've got 2. I want to format that in the same font that I'm using for everything else, Times New Roman 12, and there you have it. So at the bottom of page 2, I've got the page number centered, and that's what the paper should look like. In this tutorial, I've gone over getting Microsoft Word, formatting your header, centering the title, double spacing the body, some special text formatting for your essay, inserting notes, page numbers. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Good luck on your essay.